paths, which is pretty great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, fight number 4 this evening will be contested in the featherweight division over 3 3-minute rounds. And introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 66.1 kilos and trains out of Gamebred Academy. Tonight he makes his 3rd appearance in the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jarvis Kintaro Wickham.
The loudest cheer of the night so far to Jarvis Wickham.
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 65.1 kilos and trains out of Southside MMA. Tonight making his 2nd appearance in the cage. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sayer Sujad. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Claire Fryer.
Before we get started, Joel, another question as a head coach. Jarvis walks into the fight 0-2. What are you telling him out the back before he makes his 3rd appearance in the cage?
He's now 0-0. Just forget those 2 and focus on what's in front of him.
Phenomenal.
And some heavy leg kicks exchanged on both sides of the ledger here to kick this one off. Jarvis Wickham sticks the jab in the face of Sayer Sujad there as well.
Intense eyes from Sujad. Have a look at him.
So some tidy head movement on display early too there from Jarvis Wickham. Slips under the jab. In it now with a body lock. Let's see if he can finish this takedown sequence. And he does.
He's got him down now. He needs to get some posture up and look to pass. Okay, there's not a lot he can do from the top here inside that closed guard in this C-class rule set.
Yeah, we spoke about that earlier in the night, Joel, saying that, this isn't a bad position to be in the bottom. Well, we should say closed guard was. We've seen now Jarvis Wickham move himself into mount now, so improving his position nicely.
Jarvis is a blue belt here, so you think he's going to take his time, try and isolate one of those arms and look to get the finish.
Turn it towards the cage. Turn it towards the cage. Turn it towards the cage. There you go. There you go.
Trying to work his knees up underneath those arms.
I think something Sean Besgrove did really well in that last fight was he didn't look for that full mount position. Unfortunately, when C-class, when you're in that full mount, you're actually taking away at least 30% of your target.
That's exactly right.
Yep, we will see a lot of fighters probably opt for side control over full mount here tonight as, like you mentioned, Matt, just a few more submission opportunities. So Jarvis Wickham showing some nice control here on top. Sayer Sujad minimising damage here as he's controlling the posture nicely of Jarvis Wickham. But obviously he's going to show a bit of urgency here to try and get out. Traps the leg now into a 3/4 mount. And let's see if he can hip escape back the other way. But beautiful work there from Jarvis Wickham to ride that roll and momentarily get the back. But Sayer Sujad hip to that trick and now back in full mount.
You got Claire Fryer here watching on closely, making sure that he's pushing the action. You couldn't pull a guy off someone here in mount. That would be a travesty. So,
See how to get your hands in front of his face. In front. In front. Push on his
bit of a cage grab there by Jarvis.
There you go. Push on his belly. Push on his belly.
So some big shots to the body there from Jarvis Wickham. He's going to hunt for the neck here.
And he's not just throwing those punches elementaries, he's actually got some really nice power behind them as well. He's making them count.
The south side corner, quite vocal right next to us now. He's getting back to his feet here.
Stand up.
Excellent little get up there.
So nice work there from Sayer Sujad to take the action back up onto the feet. He's going to look for a takedown of his own here in the final 10 seconds. Nice knee on the cage there. But, beautiful trip.
Instantly reversed.
But Jarvis doing a good job to reverse that. Don't think it's going to help Sayer Sujad too much in terms of the judges' scorecards. I think we will see Jarvis Wickham most likely go one up after that round.
In the end, probably almost one of a perfect round. Jarvis would have taken a lot of confidence off of that to be able to throw some nice strikes, weather a bit of a storm, take him down and control him. But I love the fact that CR was able to get up at the end and get a takedown of himself. So I think we're in for a pretty fascinating second round.
Yeah, definitely. So he'll take. He's got a takedown. He's been able to get up off the mount using the cage. So he can go into this round and take that momentum with him.
So as you mentioned earlier on the walkouts there, Matt, Jarvis Wickham, one of the more active competitors on the local jiu-jitsu and MMA scene. I actually saw Jarvis competing just last weekend in a jiu-jitsu tournament. So the man certainly loves the thrill of competing. And tell you what, must have some pretty nice coaches too, because I know a lot of coaches, particularly the one sitting to my left, Joel Zepasvari, wouldn't be letting you compete a week out from a fight.
Yeah, I don't know how he slid that one in.
I wouldn't say that the promoter knew much about it as well.
So, well, straight back into mount here from Jarvis Wickham. And almost like where we left off there towards the end of round one.
Yeah, nice and composed on the top here. Just looking for Sayo to make a mistake here and expose one of his arms.
Yeah, Jarvis showing some really good hips here as he's riding the escape attempts from Sayer Sujat. It looks like a potential head and arm attempt coming here from Jarvis Wickham. He's in mount at the moment. Pretty hard to finish it in mount, but looks like Sayer's got the arm back. Now Sayer just continuing to control the posture. Oh, that Jarvis Wickham does have an arm isolated here, Sayer, so he could look for perhaps a bump and roll. But Jarvis Wickham now freeing that arm that was trapped.
Hook the leg, then turn.
Just controlling the head here, controlling the posture. I'm not sure that's going to be enough at the moment. He needs to try to hip escape. He goes for an arm.
An armbar.
Armbar attempt.
And
Let's see if he can
reverse.
hold on to it.
Beautiful.
Close. It's close. He goes belly up. Can he control the wrist?
Wow.
Looks like he's out.
Great hitchhiker escape there from Sayer Sujad.
Phenomenal scramble, boys.
Head on the outside single now. Jarvis Wickham takes us back down onto the mat and into half guard.
And he's wrapping up the neck here, but I don't think he's not can't really get the purchase here, and he's out.
Wow, very entertaining scramble there and a sweep from Sayer Sujad as he ends up in the closed guard of Jarvis Kintaro Wickham.
Jarvis taking some huge breaths now. That submission attempt would have taken a little bit out of his gas tank. It's also a bit disheartening when you put everything in like that. That arm looked like it was bending here from my angle. So, yeah, we've got to fight here.
Yeah, some great heart shown there from Sayer Sujad. As we've seen from a couple of fighters earlier tonight, not many the tapping type here when it comes to the MMA scene.
Yeah, we saw Jarvis was nice and comfortable when he was on top. Now we get a chance to see what he's like on his back.
Oh,
Throws up the nice
triangle attempt.
As soon as we say it, he throws up the triangle attempt.
Beautiful sprawl there from Sayer as we see Jarvis back in on that head on the outside single.
Pasha was screaming at his fighter Sayer to try and take the back there. Unfortunately, he was just one or two steps behind Jarvis there.
Looks like Jarvis might be isolating an arm here too. Not long left as he looks to go and step over the head for this Kimura. And he's just going to round out this round with swinging some
huge
big
body
shots.
shot.
Okay. So, look, so he is managing to use those hips and explode. I'm quite impressed. He's looked like Jarvis was quite heavy in some of those positions, and he's managed to reverse them. So that's something that Saeed's going to be able to take away from that. But realistically, he doesn't want to be caught in that bottom position early on this round. So they're going to have to change it up, use a little bit of footwork and work on a sprawl and try and get on top when it does go to the ground.
Yeah, that round was super entertaining. That's the kind of round you show to people that perhaps aren't familiar with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and you can just see how much fun the sport can be when it's applied in the MMA scene. And some great scrambles, some sweep attempts, a submission attempt, some beautiful submission defense. It really had it all when it came to the action on the mat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm entertained here, down here at Winter Warrior, Brisbane. Another great show put on by Jason and the crew from Gamebred.
Now, how critical is this first 30 seconds?
Oh!
Huge
head kick landing there from Jarvis Wickham, but Sayer Sujat eats it like a pancake.
And just waves him on, says, let's go.
Second round started horribly for CR. Fell straight into that mount position. Walks into a massive head kick in the third round.
Hands locked for Jarvis here.
Big
slam.
Wow, big slam there from Jarvis Kintaro Wickham. And I tell you what, you should see the smiles on his coaches' faces there. In particular, one of the wrestling coaches from Gamebred, Christian Marino just almost jumped out of his seat.
Control him there, control him there.
So body triangle, I should say, on the bottom there from Sayer Sujad. Jarvis Wickham showing some nice passing.
Yeah, nice passing there. He's controlling the legs still. He just needs to take his time here. I think he could isolate one of these arms from side control.
Turn to me, get up, get up, get up.
Sayer doing a good job to get straight back to his back here because it's kind of safe in this position if he can keep his elbows in.
Yeah,
Get your frames here.
that's definitely true there, Joel. If this was a B-class fight, I think we would see a little more urgency from Sayer Sujad to avoid this mount position. But like you mentioned, there's only a couple of submissions that you see, regularly hit from Mount. Most of them being arm locks of various types. So if Sayer can just keep those arms out of danger, he can hang out here quite safely.
He's solid on top, isn't he, Jarvis? There's been quite a few attempts to sweep, but he looks like he's got a really solid base.
Yeah, great hips.
Halfway, Seattle, halfway. You got it.
Without a doubt, the most impressive performance we've seen from Jarvis Wickham out of his 3 appearances in the cage.
Definitely. And, Jarvis has faced some really tough competition. Things didn't go his way in his debut against a very talented Dom Marfan.
Going for the guillotine there from the
guillotine,
mount.
but not quite, unfortunately, there for Jarvis.
Nothing seems to bother Sayer. I like this kid. He's tough.
Hold it, Seattle.
Totally
Constantly
relaxed.
looking over at his corner as well, so he can definitely hear his corner. He's listening as much as he can.
Just doesn't have the same explosion in that buck that he did in rounds 1 and 2.
Get up, Seattle, get up. Seattle, push on his waist, push on his waist.
So remaining heavy on top here. 30 seconds left here in the third and final round. Could we see the scorecards for the first time tonight? Jarvis Wickham with some serious control time here throughout these 3 rounds.
I'd like to see him have a real crack at this. I'd like to see him really go for something. We've got 20 seconds left. He's ahead on the scorecards. I think he's safe. I want to see him have another
There's
crack
a
at
chance
that
for an
armbar.
armbar or something there, isn't there? Right now, there we go, left arm.
Well, the 10-second clapper, Jarvis Wickham, it looks like he's going to coast his way to his first victory here in his mixed martial arts career. Congratulations there to both gentlemen, Sayer Sujad and Jarvis Kintaro Wickham, putting on an absolute clinic there in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
He's got a replay of that trip here. That reverse, instantly reversed by Jarvis. Here's the belly down armbar. Managed to get out. Just the composure. A lot of guys would have panicked in that position. He's throwing up a triangle. Good hips, good active guard from the bottom by Jarvis. I hope we see Sayer again. He's definitely got some good potential.
Yeah, you're right. He was definitely outclassed a little bit there, but he definitely didn't look out of place. He didn't look uncomfortable as well.
He's good. Yeah. I'll book him. I'd book him.
So, ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges scored about 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Jarvis Kintaro Wickham.
You can see how much that win means to Jarvis. Pasha Stoliar in the corner there. Always passionate about his fighters.